Where's my text area? There it is. I will put it here next to it. Just resize it a little bit. All right. So right now, again, I will click this button and I will generate a random number between 1 and 6, and I will do that 10,000 times, and each time I will simply count the frequency of each face. All right, let's do that. Right click, program the event for this button. Let us start here. Okay. First of all, I'm gonna declare a few integers and initialize them. These are simply the frequency of phase 1, of phase 2, and so on. So I'm gonna call them F1, F2, F3. Each one is equal to 0. Initialize it. F2 is equal to 0. And I will also need a variable called face. Okay, so these are the frequencies, and this is simply the number representing the face, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Okay, I also need the output variable, which is a string, just like we did earlier. Okay, we're ready to roll, and remember, we're rolling inside a for loop. So go ahead, int counter. We can call it here roll because these are the rolls, 10,000 rolls, right? So counter, start at 1, counter is less than or equal 10,000. And we increment the counter. This is the increment operator, the plus plus. Okay, what do we do in there? We need to generate a random number, and we put the value inside the variable called face. So face is equal to, remember how, 1 plus, go ahead and cast into an integer this for me, which is the math.random, and I want it to be between 1 and 6, so what do? Times 6. Okay, random number generated, saved in face. Right now, what I want to do is to use the switch statement, and the switch statement is simply a multiple selection statement. If you remember, earlier we used the if statement. The if statement is called a single selection statement. So if condition, do something. The if else statement, so if condition, do something else, this is called a double selection statement. So there are two branching statement. The switch statement is a multiple selection statement. I can really choose as many branches as I want. And this is the syntax for the, here again, NetBeans is showing me that this is not initialized, so I'll go ahead and initialize it. And it's still showing this line, which means that this is not really used, and I will use it soon. Okay, so the syntax for the switch operator is the keyword switch. Go ahead and switch. Switch what? Switch the face. That means take a look at this number, okay, or this variable. All right, this is the block of my switch statement. In case face is equal to 1, do something. If it's 2, do something else. So multiple selections, and I have 6 of those. And the way to I do that is using the keyword case 1, colon, and then what do? I say increment for me please F1, and then that's it. If you found F1, you incremented it, do not complete the rest of the statement. So the break keyword will get me out. Case 2, increment F2, and so on. Okay, let me just take a look at it, make sure that I didn't make any mistakes, everything is fine, NetBeans didn't give me any warnings or errors. Alright, right now it will run 10,000 times. Each time it will check the value and it will increment the frequency of that face, which is simply a counter. Alright, so I will just use commands here, say this is the end of my switch, and if this is the end of what? Of my for loop. And of course this is the end of my method, the action performed for my button. Okay, my output is equal, so I will say plus equal whatever it had before, and do the following. I will write face, and then I will do a tab, a separator. To do that I need the escape character for tab, which is /T. So this will give me a tab, as if you're hitting a tab on your keyboard, and then the word frequency, and here add it, and then give me a new line. Okay, again nice separator I will add just below that, plus equal, and in here I will put for under face I will have and another tab, and under frequency I need maybe 9 of those. Okay, that looks nice. Okay, and give me a new line break. Okay, I will also do one thing actually. Now every time I have a face, then I need to know the count or the frequency of that face. So what I will do right here, after I do this, I want to see the number representing the face. So I can say face 1, or simply because it's under the column face, I can simply say 1. So 1 will be printed after you go in a new line. Okay, so I will say 1, and maybe that would be nice also, just a little. Okay, so nice little separator. I will see 1, then I will see this, and right now I'm ready to start putting the count, the frequency. So output plus equals to, and I will go ahead and start F1 plus, so concatenate the following, give me, after you actually put the count, give me a new line and give me the number 2. I think in here, if I'm seeing 1 under face, then I needed a tab. I forgot this, so I needed a tab to go and put the actual count under frequency. So again, now F1 will be under frequency, and I need a new line. Yes, looks good. And right now I'm putting the second one, so 2, and again, okay, and give me a tab